Oh, welcome back, my friends. We've got a Dell sitting here. As you can see, it's in the way. We're gonna prep this for, I believe, Monday. We have a part showing up, but we're just gonna throw a little something online of doing the prep for it. Let's hop on over to. Is that the Sony? Yes, it is. Okay. So I gotta hold this thing. Here's basically the problem that we're facing with this, and I ask, is this possible without human intervention, like somebody getting into the BIOS and locking the password, or setting a password, like say grandkids or whatever, nieces, nephews, somebody comes over that's not normally there, turns on the computer, starts pressing keys, ends up in the BIOS and sets a password. Now you have to type it twice, so the chances that just happen randomly, I don't think is very possible. However, there are a few options you can go for before you attempt to replace the board, which replacing the board should do it. But you can also you can look online, and let's go over here for a moment. Dell Security Manager, and I hit the keys backwards. BIOS pre-boot authentication. So some people say they can do it. Basically, I called in to Dell, and it patched me into a call center in some other country, I'm almost certain, judging by the accent of the guy I was talking to. If you call, no, if you call, there is a chance it may work. You may be able to get some help with your computer. Whenever you call in, he's going to ask you for, let's flip this down, for a service tag. He, she, whoever you happen to talk to. And they'll ask you for a service tag, and then also you have a big long number that starts with CN, and it's usually on a sticker that looks something like that with a QR code. Anyhow, what's up? Yeah. You're gonna make sure those terminals are on there? Awesome, man, thank you. We tried to hook up the HDMI, and it wasn't having it. So you'll give the service tag, you will give the CN number, and they will attempt to generate a master password, and it's either going to work or not work, nothing in between. Either it works or it doesn't. Also, you're going to need the name of the owner of the computer. In this case, when I called, I did have the customer's name, who the original owner of this computer was and still is. So, they had bought it And I don't think this is something that just happens. Maybe it happened within Windows, setting up the security manager, you could set it, and it affects the BIOS. I've never seen it happen that way myself. However, I think it's generally set up in BIOS. And this customer, the customer whose computer this is, says that nobody's on there. A couple times, grandkids or something have gotten on there, but they don't mess around like that as far as known, and nobody else accesses it. Maybe a son, I'm not sure. Anyhow, we're stuck with the computer doesn't boot. It's useless. Now, we could send it into Dell. I think we have to... Do you remember what that fee was I said, or no?
What?
The fee to send it in.
Oh,
$39?
39 plus.
Yeah, like, so we pay to ship it in, pay $39.99 ahead of time. They take a look at it. They're going to do all kinds of scans and tests on the system itself, fix that problem, and then call us and let us know what it costs to get the computer back. Maybe it would be good at the cost of shipping. If they were going to charge, I think they were going to send us a prepaid label that we could get in our email and then, print it out. So at least $39. And then whatever other testing. He said there would be another fee on top of that for them checking the health of the system overall. Sounds kind of risky because they could pretty much name a price and they have your computer. Now, Dell's a company, I can't speak to how they operate, if they overcharge or rip people off or do great job. I've never done any warranty services. So that's it, huh? That's what it looks like? So we can get one? Alright, man. Awesome, thank you. Anyhow, sorry about that pause. Back to this. Yeah, I'm not here to speak to Dell and the service they do, or awesome, not a rip-off, or rip-off, don't ever trust. I don't know. I've never sent a computer in this state to get it fixed, so I don't know the cost. I could probably look around online and get a general idea, but we're just going to go for what we know how to do. We know we can get a board. We know we can install that board, and it should work. The BIOS is where it's locked from now. If we install a board, worst case, we're going to see if we can access the data from the hard drive first. If we can access the data, then we're good to install a board. So let's go ahead and get this prepped. We have a few more minutes for today, so we'll get this prepped to put a board in Monday. The first thing we want to do, down under, you can see underneath the leg that goes down to the foot, there's a button. You can press that and lift your foot up off. Fairly simple to tear one of these down. We're going to remove this dongle. This is the customer's. We'll leave it here by our tools so we don't lose it. And then you have two latches on the bottom. If I'm not mistaken, after that point, you can grab on the side. You generally start here. Not saying you can't start here, but I have always started here. Right hand, reach across, and start lifting up. And this is, what is this, a Dell Inspiron 5348 series. And of course this side's going to be a pain. There it goes. No dice? No takers on that call, huh? Fairly simple to access the inside of one of these. So let's do that. And do we have Phillips or Torx? We got our power, optical drive, power supply, fan. This is just the fan for the power supply. It cools this, and then we have our main cooling fan for the system. Let's go ahead and work on getting this open to get access to the board. We'll get the board pulled out, and we're going to pull also the hard drive and make sure that we can access the data. On some systems, I know, like, well, not some. I'm guessing all, if the BIOS has the option to set it up. You can set like an administrator password, a BIOS password, a system password, a hard drive password. I know at least on Toshiba's you can. And some lady wanted, this is years ago, she had a laptop this girl had a laptop. It was given to her, and her mother's mother, so grandmother, had set the password on it and passed away. So we had no idea what the password was. It was forgotten, and the person was not available anymore that had set it. And sadly, they had locked it down, same password on everything the whole way through the BIOS, and there was just no accessing the data. I mean, you could pull a drive and format it, but you couldn't access the data. You couldn't even use the computer, put a new drive in, nothing, without sending it away for a fee. So let's hope this isn't in that state as well. First, we're going to get this out and throw it into the dock. Actually, we didn't even need to pull those. Yeah, I guess we did. We have to get the board out after all. Alright, at first glance, okay, the hard drive is not even attempting to mount. We're going to check another interface instead of the dock. We're going to check our SATA to USB 3 cable. Brand drive. This is a Samsung 1 terabyte. No, we can't even. Yeah. So this drive is actually locked down with that password. Whoever said it, it is locked down. That is not accessible until that password is removed. So perhaps an option would be to go to Dell, and they can get the data back. However, we're going to see what data is on here and how important it is. We do have a backup from a few months back when this computer came in originally. So give me one moment. I got to pause it here, or mute it. instead of unmuting. I popped up the help on my screen. Okay. So yes, drive inaccessible. We're going to verify if that is important or not on there for right now. I don't think it is. I think it's just a general setup and supplementary programs. We have a few screws to pull out to get into this thing. It's a shame when something like this happens with a computer because it didn't have to. And to the best of my knowledge, I've never seen a password set itself. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying I've never seen it happen on its own. It's generally somebody gets in there and does something either A, they're not familiar with, or B, just in there poking around and they shouldn't be. And the password gets set, locking whoever out of their computer. Alright, a few more screws and we should be able to pull this board. It is 20 till, so I'm going to give it just a couple more seconds a couple more minutes here and see. Huh? Alright, we're taking a trim plate off here. That's unlocked. We shouldn't need to remove the speakers. We are going to need to pull this unit here from off of the motherboard. Is covering some of the I/O, and we'll have this board pulled out ready to go for Monday. So we should be able to pick up this stream then, or pick up on Monday's stream with this repair, which would be nice. I don't like splitting them up in two, but then again, I don't mind it. No answer at that ringy ding number. No? Alright. Dude, some of these ports, look at this. Some of these ports, when you pull them out, they're like locked in, and it just rips the
Piece right off of it.
right off the motherboard. Yeah, I don't like these when they're stuck together. Yeah, you definitely take them apart. Hey, where's that screwdriver at? I need that screwdriver, man. What's up? Give me a sec. Alright. Alright, so we have the socket from the board actually pulled off with this. It looks like the fan wire. At least this is going to be the old board and not the new one. Yeah, I'm getting out of here in a few myself. I gotta go to the day job. Alright, have a good weekend. Oh yeah, always. Alright, it is almost 45, so let's go. We'll go. Got a minute, right? Let's hopefully not pull all the other sockets off this board. There's one, there's one. We don't have anything there. Got one more. We got this one. I don't like skinny wires. And we've got this one. We have our 12-volt rail from the power supply with not a lot of wiggle room. Let's work it out this way to get room to pull the cable that way. There we go. Okay, now effectively we are disconnected. Almost. Got two more wires. Fan that. We're going to pull our heatsink quick. Pull the heatsink and then hopefully pull the board. I don't believe the fan is attached with the other side of the heatsink is, so alright. How many screws? 2. On Monday we will need to swap over the processor and the Wi-Fi card. Not doing it today. No need. We want to protect the pins in that socket for the CPU. What a nightmare that is. We'll check that once we lift this board. And to the best of my knowledge, there is nothing else connected on the reverse side of this motherboard. It would be cool if it was like a desktop board and had an M.2 slot on the underside or some other interface, but I highly doubt it. And one to go. Two. What is still stuck? I'm thinking it is the CPU socket and possibly something under this edge. So we're not going to get to it today. Yeah, it's not. It's definitely Torx, but we're ready. We've got, I think, a matter of 3 to 4 screws to pull out, and this thing should lift right out. Possibly that one for the Wi-Fi, but I don't know. Anyhow, it's sad, like I said, when this happens. I've never seen a computer lock itself down. Usually there is human intervention, or somebody not knowing that there was human intervention, and they find out later. Like, oh, you know, grandchild pipes up, like, oh, your computer works again. Yeah, I kind of locked myself out of it. I've heard that tale a few times in the past. Anyhow, have a good evening, a good afternoon, a good morning, wherever you are. It's one of those. Enjoy it. Give somebody a hand doing this if you're into it. And if you're into it, keep doing it. Spread it. Share it. It's not work if you thoroughly enjoy it. So, I will see you Sunday if you watch the podcast. And if not, Monday, we'll be back getting this up and going. Have a good weekend. And once again, thank you.